Hello everybody. The subject matter I shall tackle with you today is called the dual nature of life. As I previously mentioned, this universe is of dual nature. That is, everything that exists has also its contrary. We shall be dealing today with pain and pleasure. You will agree that every individual faces pain and pleasure in varying intensities and regularities in his life. All this depends on your karma, your behavior, your thoughts. Now, when we are in pleasure, there is not much to do about it because it is a pleasurable moment. It is when we are in pain that we get confused, that we don't know what to do, especially if you are not getting relief or even solutions to your pains. Lord Krishna explains beautifully in the Bhagavad Gita what we must do about the cycles of pain and pleasure. Above all, he states that in whatever state you are, be it a state of pain or a state of pleasure, you should remain calm. You should not get excited. This is the first behavior that you must adopt. And then Lord Krishna says that in order to go through the cycles of pain and pleasure undisturbed, you should reflect on how the seasons in nature come and go. Now, what does he mean by that? He simply means to say that just like seasons like winter and summer come into our lives and we only have to tolerate those seasons without complaining, that is the same thing we must do with the cycles of pains and pleasures in our lives. But until you have this piece of information, you keep struggling, isn't it? You want to fight, especially against the troubles you are having in your lives. Sometimes you can give yourself some relief, sometimes you can't. So, you must learn to tolerate those cycles of pains, just like you tolerate winter and summer. Now, what you do in winter, you know it's going to get cold, so you prepare yourselves, your clothing will be adapted to the winter conditions, your eating will adapt to the winter seasons, the time you come back home at night will also vary, and so on. So it means there is an adaptation to the winter conditions, which is cold, rainy, and probably windy also. So you get prepared for the adverse conditions, isn't it? So you must do exactly for the pains in your lives. You must get prepared for them. Just like a soldier gets prepared to go for a battle. You will agree you can't send a soldier on the battlefield without previous preparation. So this is the same with life. Now, what are the preparations that you need in order to go undisturbed through the pains of life? You must develop skills. Patience is one of them. Now, everybody knows how much impatience there is in this world today. Very few people can treat others with patience. So patience will help you to tolerate your pain. And then you must also develop perseverance. Patience and perseverance are two spiritual qualities. Perseverance means that you don't give up. However you fail, you must continue to try until you succeed. And this is what exactly Lord Krishna is informing us in the Bhagavad Gita. Learn to tolerate the seasons. So when you are able to tolerate with patience and with perseverance, you will agree that you shall be able to resist your pains. You shall be able to tolerate your pains. So those two qualities are very important, patience and perseverance. Now, how do you develop patience? Easier said than done, isn't it? Patience is cultivated in silence. When you speak less, when you remain for some time regularly in the morning and at night in silence, your eyes closed, then you will develop patience. But most of you don't want to do this because it demands certain adjustment in your personal life and you're not prepared to do it. Believe me, it's very, very difficult to wake up 15 minutes earlier than your usual time of waking up. Most of you have tried, and it is also very difficult to skip your preferred TV programs at night because you are conditioned, because you are attached to all those things and you just can't let go. But what is 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the night in the daily life of a person? It is very little, isn't it? But you don't want to make that necessary effort. And coupled to patience and perseverance, personal efforts are very important in personal growth. If you want to learn to tolerate your pains and troubles and difficulties in life, you must develop patience, you must develop perseverance, and you must develop that discipline to go about making the required changes in your lifestyle. Otherwise, it will not happen. You see, there are two ways of getting rid of problems, difficulties, frustrations in our lives. The most common, is to solve the problem. We get rid of the problem. The second one is to get some relief from your problems. You diminish the intensity of the problem. But there is actually a third and very important one, and that is acceptance. Very few of us have the maturity, the wisdom, and the intelligence to say, let me accept what I am going through. Of course, you must try to solve your problems, but after several attempts, you will see that something will tell you that probably this is what I merit in my life, what I deserve in my life. Probably this is what I have sown as karma in my previous life, and I am just reaping the corresponding fruits. Then why should I get that much disturbed? So you see, understanding is another spiritual quality. When you understand, you are less confused, you are less stressed. And this is the beauty of all those four spiritual qualities which you must develop. And you will see that I am not talking about mantras, I am not talking about fasting, I am not talking about rituals, I am talking of self-development. Patience, perseverance, discipline, these will help you in your lives. These are the things that you alone must do. But you must be conscious of what you want. And it is also very important to know that most people make objectives in their lives. I want to do this, I want to achieve this, and so on. But this is only 50% of the job. And I will tell you why. Because when you know what you want, you should also know what you don't want. You have probably never thought about this. Yes, it is also very, very important that you know what you don't want in your life. So when you couple what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life, then you shall make real progress. So as from now, try to get some time to think about what you don't want in your life. And you will see how things will become easier for you, because then you will take better decisions. So this is my message for you today about the dual nature of life. And it is about cultivating skills, spiritual skills, like patience, like tolerance, perseverance, discipline, acceptance, that you shall be able to go through this big river of life with all its pains and pleasures. Both are there. You can't eliminate pain, you can't eliminate pleasure. They are meant to say. Even Lord Narayan has stated, I have a purpose for your pain. So when you understand it this way, then you shall be calm. Then you shall be less disturbed. So keep trying, and I'm sure you will make the necessary progress to be able to withstand, to tolerate, to accept the pains of your lives, just like Lord Krishna has stated in the Bhagavad Gita. That is, by tolerating the seasons which exist, you should also be able to tolerate the pains of your life.